Ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance, and for the Ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance, and for the millions watching at home, DCK Productions proudly brings to you the greatest podcast in the world! The greatest podcast in the world? Suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. I appreciate it if you both suck it. Suck it!
Welcome everybody to Suck It. I am the great and powerful Prince of all that is awesome, King of Kings, Derek. How is everybody this evening? So, sorry about the little delay there. I had a quick phone call I had to answer, but all is good. Just making sure that the guest was on, and it looks like she's on. So that's all fantastic. So before we get to our guest, I want to go ahead and introduce her to you. Her name is Gianna Harris. She is one of the stars of the new movie Mighty Oak, which will be released on digital on July 7th. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play you the trailer for Mighty Oak.
Ladies and gentlemen, Army of Love. Hey! Screwed up.
We are the opening act for Arcade Fire.
The past will always
Morning, Mr. Biggs. Thanks for the guitar. This thing is amazing.
Who's that? The lieutenant upstairs.
You're writing a lot of songs?
I actually wrote a song yesterday.
You did?
It's about it not being easy growing up.
I hear your friend's got some sick skills.
Sure does.
I'm Gina.
Oh,
Do you know anything about the man who owned that tailor?
Lone Jackson, lead singer of Army of Love. Your sister, right? That him?
Do you believe in reincarnation? What if we were all meant to be together? You, me, Vaughn, the band, just in a different way, in a different time. Is that so crazy? You guys ready to meet your new frontman?
Oh my god. It's Army of Love. Yeah!
You were meant to be a part of this family.
Where did you find this kid?
I didn't. He found me.
I seen that oak.
Aren't you looking fine as hell?
You brown sugar piece of candy.
All right, and that is the trailer for Mighty Oak. And let's go ahead and I'm gonna give you a little demo and show you who this chick is, because she has got hell of a set of pipes on her. And I'm gonna have and play you a quick little video from her Instagram. Check this out.
So call out my name. So call out my name when I kiss you so gently. I want you to stay. Oh, I want you to stay.
So that was Gianna doing a nice little acoustic cover of The Weeknd's Call Out My Name. So you've seen the trailer, you've seen the clip of her. So without further ado, let's bring on Gianna Harris. Hey, GiGi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Glad to have you on here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. 100% my pleasure. So how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Where are you at right now?
I am in New Jersey.
You're in New Jersey.
Yeah.
You're only about 4 hours away from me. I'm in Northern Virginia. Very nice. So,
Yeah.
So how's life been treating you? How's things been going? You've kind of had a lot on your plate the last few months. So how's things been going?
It's a little hectic. It's weird because I'm used to doing a lot. So having the quarantine kind of slowed it down, but it's also a lot happening now since the movie is coming out.
Mhm.
And it's weird to have a lot to do when there's nothing to do, because then it feels like so insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, I definitely understand that. So, talk about the movie. Talk about who you play in there, and then kind of give us a little background on it.
Yeah, so I play Emma Biggs in the movie. She is Oak, who is the main character. I play his best friend in the movie, and it's about this kid who's a prodigy on guitar, and he finds this guitar. I give it to him, and he's so good that the band takes him in, and they start to think that he is a reincarnation of their lead guitarist who had passed. That was a really bad explanation of the movie, and I'm
No.
sorry.
That's fine. That's actually a pretty decent, explanation. The band has a tragic accident. The lead singer and guitarist dies.
Mhm.
Kid shows up 10 years later, and the sister thinks, "Hey, this could be my brother reincarnated."
Mhm.
That's a good explanation. That's pretty much what the movie is. Don't be ashamed by that. So how did you end up getting this part? How was it presented to you?
So I have an agent, and they usually send in headshots, and if they have any other stuff that they can send in, they'll send it in. I'm not in that process, so I don't know exactly how it works, but they usually send in stuff about me, and then they are like either yeah, sure, or no if they want me to audition, and then they said yeah, and they gave me the audition, and it was a self-tape, so I did it at home, and then I sent it in, and we get a call from Tommy's dad, who is the lead, his dad. And we know Tommy from School of Rock. I was in School of Rock with him on tour. So we didn't expect that it was for a movie, because we were just like, oh, that's weird. He's calling us. Maybe he's calling to say hello, So we weren't expecting him to be like, hey, so you just auditioned for this movie that we're working on, and we would like you to be the role. And it was just like really crazy, because we just weren't expecting that from him. We usually get it from like the agent. So it was crazy that they saw me, that my agent saw the project and sent me in, and it was with one of my friends.
Got you. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So first off, real quick little thing about me and my interview style. I go all over the place. So we'll start one place and we'll jump ahead and then we'll come back. We're all over the place.
Okay.
So you just mentioned that you were on the Broadway show or the traveling show of the School of Rock.
I actually was in both.
You were on both. Okay.
Yeah.
You were on both. Okay. So with that being said, you're the guy who plays your dad in the movie, Rodney Hicks, who I have on the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, is a Broadway legend. I mean, coming from Rent and all that stuff like that. How did it feel being paired up with that guy in this movie?
It was so weird. It was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, this huge Broadway star is gonna play my dad in this show. And it was really crazy. And I'd seen his work, and it was just really, really amazing. And he's so sweet. You'll see tomorrow. He's such a nice guy, and he's really easy to talk to. And really good conversations with him. He has such a beautiful soul. I always say that when I talk about him. He has such a beautiful soul.
Yeah, reading about him and everything like that, I am stoked to talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I'm so stoked about it is because Rent is such an iconic part of American history, and then on top of that, my one of my best friends, her favorite Broadway musical is Rent, so she's kind of excited for me to be able to talk to him. So I'm stoked about that. But talk about the transition that you had from going from Broadway to the silver screen. I mean, that's a huge transition. A lot of people try it, a lot of people fail, and then they end up going back. So why did you, what are you trying to transition completely? Or are you trying to just do both? I mean, talk about that transition.
It's really hard to go from Broadway acting to like screen acting and vice versa. So it's really hard to do that because they're completely different styles, like completely. Broadway is very big and exaggerated, and screen acting is the opposite. You want to do as little as possible because it picks up on camera. So it's really hard. But I started off at singing. So I hadn't acted before School of Rock, and I had to learn how to act through School of Rock. And, I started to take other acting classes, and I started to learn how to act for television and movies. So I was kind of learning both at the same time. So it was definitely very hard, and the cast was so amazing, and the crew, and they taught me a lot of stuff, just watching them, but also telling me like, oh, this is, you could do it this way and it'll look better on screen and stuff like that. But it was hard and easy at the same time because the transition is weird, but having that amazing group of people that wanted to see me succeed in the movie.
So with that being said, now that you've done, a feature-length film that has gotten a lot of press, produced by Paramount, now it's getting released to digital here in 5 days. Is this something that you want to continue to pursue, or do you like the lights and the people and the immediate reaction of that Broadway crowd?
I mean, I like it. I like them both, but singing is my passion. So if I were to pursue something like just one thing, it would probably be singing, which is close to Broadway because you do get that immediate reaction and you're live, and you get to do it all the time. And it's not, movies are different because you only get a couple takes, and doing like tours, and Broadway you get to do it every night. So I love them all. I love them all like so much, but I'm probably going to continue to do all of them. I don't think I could ever pick just one.
So you're actually wanting to start a music career then?
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. Have you started pursuing that? Have you put together anything, or are you kind of in the beginning stages of that, or where are you at with that?
So a while ago, before, it was probably like a year ago, I started a band. And it recently started to fall apart, but we were doing that for a while. And now I'm in a girls group. We're called Enjoy the Journey. And we started that a month or two before quarantine happened. So everything kind of stopped really fast in the process. So, I have been pursuing that. And, I have a producer that I work with all the time. But right now we can't really do much. So, I'm just kind of waiting until everything is better.
Yeah, I mean, so talk about I don't want to say the heartbreak, but I mean, let's just call it what it is. The shit fest that was COVID that happened. So you're getting ready to put out this awesome movie. It kind of went into theaters, it kind of didn't, but it didn't have nearly what it was supposed to have. Nearly that punch. So how much did that, how much of that did you feel from that?
We were really close to putting the movie out when everything started. And I was, that excitement of like, oh my God, the movie's going to come out. And, people asking me like, hey, when's it coming out? I heard you did that movie, So when we went into quarantine, I was like, well, what's going to happen with the movie? It was just about to come out. Like, what are they going to do? And, I'm still glad that it's coming out, and not a lot of stuff is coming out right now. So hopefully it will do pretty well. But it was really sad to not be able to do as much as I wanted to. Like I wanted to actually go see it in the theaters and stuff like that, but didn't. So, it was really sad, and I wanted to, watch it with like all my friends at like the screening and stuff, but
also the big premiere party and walking the red carpet and all that other stuff. Yeah. You got to miss that. It was your first flick, and you got to miss that. So, I hope that that changes for you. Hopefully everything calms down, even though it's getting worse. My family lives in Florida. They opened up everything, and they didn't abide by social distancing or wearing masks. And then they get 10,000 new cases in one day over the weekend. LA County was opening back up, and now they're closing up again as of yesterday. So it's just like it's crazy. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to get better with the warm weather, and nothing happened. Yeah. So I'm excited for the movie. I've watched the trailer 50 times, and I've read about it, and getting prepared for you and Rodney for tomorrow. I was like really stoked for this movie, and so I can't wait for it on Tuesday. We're buying it as soon as it comes out. So we're doing it, and then so I'm really looking forward to that. So you want to continue working on Broadway. You want to continue working in movies. You want to start your own music career. How are you gonna being at such a young age, how do you think that's going to affect you in the long run?
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's be real. Like I told you, I'm all over the place, and I'm a very real guy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Historically. Now it's been better recently, but historically, a lot of child actors who grow up in the business and do a lot of stuff like that turn out in a certain way. Well, let's put it that way. And with you planning and doing all this other stuff, it kind of opens you up to more, because now you're going to be a part of 3 different, types of genres that could open you up to more of the bad habits that, child actors, end up having. How are you going to be able to balance that and stay away from all the drama behind it?
It is really hard too, because it's kind of what the job is the drama, and is the people knowing everything about you. And, I don't want, this is how like me and my parents have, even like my friends that are in the business, how they feel about it. They don't want to blow up when they're young. They want to be older when they blow up, because that's where the problems usually start, when they're younger. And I rather have a slow build than have it all at once. That's kind of what I want. I want a slower build, so it's not as crazy and insane. But I am 15 now, so I'll be 18 in 3 years. So, maybe it does. I do blow up soon, which would be insane, but I'm hoping for it to be a little slower than, how normal child actors are. And I feel like that will help with that too.
Yeah. Because honestly, when I see a talent like you, or some of the others out there that have, come up in the business and as a child and stuff like that, and then I see that fall from grace sometimes, or I see them, outlive, there's some that have survived it and never came across it. Like Justin Timberlake is a prime example of that. He grew up in the business and never ever wavered. However, his ex-girlfriend kind of went the complete opposite way in Britney Spears, and but then you also have cases like Drew Barrymore and River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix's brother, stuff like that. So it's like, I just hope for the best for you and all the child actors out there, because I know how difficult it can be. So I just hope that you keep your head on straight, and you follow your parents' advice, young lady. Now I have an 18-year-old daughter, and talking to you kind of makes me feel really old, knowing that my oldest daughter is older than you. even though I'm only 39. So one of the things that kind of got me excited about talking to you today the most is not the movie stuff, not the singing stuff, not the Broadway stuff. But there's two things that you're very, very passionate about that I myself am very, very passionate about. And the first thing is mental health. And then the second is the LGBTQ stuff. So as far as like the mental health stuff goes, I'm bipolar with massive depression and, extreme anxiety. So I'm a huge mental health advocate. I mean, during the month of May, we partnered with a couple different mental health organizations and did some stuff with them, kind of did some fundraising and stuff like that. And then I'm also big in the LGBT community as well, because my daughter, my 18-year-old, like I was just saying, is actually a gay. My best friend, who I told you loves Rent, is obviously gay. And a few other people in my life are. And, that is a huge part of my life as well, because I'm not a member, but I'm an advocate for it. Why are you, what made you get involved with those two types of organizations or causes, I should say causes?
Yeah. For the mental health, I do have bad anxiety. I had, it was around when I was like 8 or 9, I developed really, really bad separation anxiety. Like it was really hard for me to be away from my parents, or like just everything. It affected so much in my life. It affected school. It affected eating. I was so skinny. I didn't eat because, it gave me really bad stomach pains. And then, it really affected my life, and it kind of controlled it for a while. So, I did get better. I still have anxiety, and, I can recognize it now, and I can kind of control it, and they're not as bad, the attacks, and they don't come as often as they used to. My life was for a while literally just one big anxiety attack all the time.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So I got better. Music helped me with that. Getting better with it. When I started School of Rock, it was starting to go away. I had amazing therapists and stuff like that who helped me with everything. And when I started School of Rock, I still had it. And throughout School of Rock, I met these amazing friends that knew when I was having an anxiety attack, and they'd help me. And, being around them all the time also helped my anxiety get better. And, being around music and all these amazing people, it made it get better. And now it's barely a problem now, which is such an amazing thing. So, I want to make sure that people recognize it and they don't just push it away, because it is such a serious, mental health is so serious, and people tend to not look at it, which is kind of crazy because it's so important. You want to make sure people are safe and, that they're doing okay. So I want to, use my platform, to use my voice to be like, hey, we need to talk about this more and make it normal to talk about it, and not have it as this like, ooh, off topic that you shouldn't talk about. It should be talked about regularly.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. And that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast, is because of the mental health stuff.
Yeah.
But, and that's not my main focus on the show. I'm an interview talk show.
Yeah.
However, the moment we go off the air, you and I go into a little, rant, and I'll do my little monologue. I kind of do a reverse Tonight Show thing. No monologue and then guest. No, it's guest and monologue. But that's one of the focuses on the show. But I don't talk about it all the time because I don't want to focus on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want people to know that, hey, I'm bipolar. Hey, I have anxiety. Hey, I have depression. I have mental illness. But the thing about it is I come on the show 5 nights a week for, 2 hours a night, talk to these people without having an anxiety attack, and still make sure that I'm making people laugh, can joke about my illness, basically self-deprecate and do all this cool stuff. And I survive every day. So by me doing this, I'm hoping that without saying it, I'm hoping somebody listens and goes, hey, if Derek can do it, so can I.
Yes.
And that is my goal. That is the whole goal of this podcast. Even though I don't talk about it all the time, that is the goal of this podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad to have, somebody else in the entertainment business like yourself, advocating for this, because especially coming from a guy, one of the biggest hurdles that I've had as a man is that I've always been told, depression is for women, man up. Yeah. Or suck it up or whatever else, the case might be. And to be totally honest with you, the reason why this podcast is called Suck It isn't because, just telling, random people to suck it. No, it's for anyone who's ever told me to suck it up. I'm telling them just to suck it. And because I don't want to suck it up. I want to spread my message. I want to get better. And I want to make sure that people understand, hey, you're not alone. So with that being said, I mean, having the severe anxiety that you had and then going on School of Rock and Broadway in front of thousands of people, how did you overcome that stage fright anxiety? Yeah, granted, the music helped, the people around you helped, but there's still that there's something about it, that just that immediate reaction of, holy God, I'm in front of these people. How did you deal with that piece of it?
It's so weird. It's so weird. And I feel like any other performer would say this too. I can't perform in small crowds. I used to not. I can do it now. It's better now. But I used to not be able to perform in small crowds. And I still get so nervous when I perform in small crowds. But if I have so many people in front of me and I can barely see most of the faces, I'm not as anxious.
That makes sense.
And not as anxious. But the first time going on, it was like, oh my gosh. The first 6 months was still really crazy. But after a while, you get used to it. You still get those nerves, but most of those nerves are excitement at that point. Once you're a couple months in, all the nerves that you used to have turn into excitement to go on the stage. So it's very quick for me to not be nervous. Once I'm on, I'm not nervous anymore.
Yeah. So for me, it's kind of weird. So my history is I used to be a professional musician. So I used to do some touring stuff, and I played in front of 10,000 people before. And then I was a professional wrestler for 12 years. And now I'm a stand-up comic and I do the show. So I've always been an entertainer. I've been in the business now for more than 20 years. But for me, when I walk out on stage, or if I was walking out to wrestle, or if I was walking out with a guitar on my, my shoulder, something weird happened to me. And I don't know if you can kind of understand this, because it's weird, because when I explain it to other people, most people kind of look at me and go, huh? But it's almost like an out of body experience. It's like the moment I walk through that curtain, I stop being Derek and I'm somebody else. And it's almost like the muscle memory kicks in, and whoever that person is doing all the work, and Derek is kind of sitting outside of the thing and kind of watching this person who looks like me do it. So it doesn't even feel like I'm the one up there doing it. It's almost like a dream.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense? So that's how I'm able to separate it. Because then as soon as I walk off the stage, it's almost like I was blacked out for a second. Like, what just happened? And then I go back and watch the video of it. I'm like, oh, that really was me. But while I'm doing it, it doesn't feel like it. Like, I can look back at all the concerts and all the wrestling matches I've done, and it's like, I don't remember ever being inside the ring or on the stage, but I remember watching myself do that, kind of thinking in my, like, how did that happen? I don't remember doing that. And it's weird. But I definitely attribute that to my anxiety, and I definitely contribute that to my bipolar. It's just, it's odd. Everyone has their own tricks. Yeah. So how did you get involved in Broadway? I mean, how did School of Rock even happen?
Oh, it was so weird. I didn't even know what Broadway was. That's like the crazy part. I did not know what Broadway was. And then I booked the show, and that's how I learned what Broadway was. And I'd been doing different talent shows, singing talent shows, like around New Jersey. And my vocal coach was like, hey, why don't you audition for Broadway? Because she was like a Broadway teacher. So she was like, why don't you audition for Broadway? And I was like, okay, cool, it's Broadway. So, I'm auditioning for shows like Annie and Matilda. And I finally did this showcase called Random Farms. And it's basically a showcase where you audition in front of agents and managers. And that's how I got my agent, through Random Farms. And you know, I was only with her for 3 months, and then I booked School of Rock. So it was,
Wow.
yeah, it was really fast, like really, really fast. They were like, that's crazy. It's like never happened.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That's really, really fast. Jeez.
Yeah. The whole process was fast. Like even learning the show was really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were, you know, auditioning for my character Chanel, and they had 3 weeks to like until they needed someone, and they were like, they told me this when I left. Oh, they were like settling for someone, and then they saw me and they're like, that's the character. And I got like 2.5 weeks to learn the whole show.
Wow.
Yeah. And then like I did a week of shows, and then I went back to learn my character that I understudied for. Like it was so crazy. So crazy.
When you auditioned for that show, did you know what the significance behind it was? Like where it came from and stuff like that? Did you understand how, you know, cool of an experience that movie and everything like that before it came, you know, was?
It's actually funny now I think about it. I auditioned for the original cast because I wasn't in the original cast.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when I auditioned for it, my parents were like, this is a movie, you have to watch the movie, right? So I watched the movie, and then I always was watching the movie. I loved it so much. I would watch it all the time. And then, you know, a couple months later, I was in the show. So
yeah.
It was funny because you could see in the because you know how like the Broadway channels on YouTube, they have like showing the casting calls for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually in one of those, like in the background, like talking to my dad at one of the auditions, and my friends that were in the show were watching them. They're like, "You're in it," and I was like, "Yeah, I was there."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is, you know, so well, one thing I didn't look up about you was your IMDb. So the only two things that you have to your credit right now is School of Rock and the movie?
I was at the Apollo. I won first place at the Apollo, Stars of Tomorrow. For School of Rock, I was on shows like Good Morning America.
Yes, all that, yeah.
Yeah. The Tony Awards. And I recently, right before Mighty Oak, I did a short film called The O'Clocks.
What was that about?
It was about a family. Well, it was a girl and her dad. It was they can control time, and they were messing with each other by controlling time. Yeah, it was really funny because we got to like my character clapped, and she could go back a couple seconds into time, and then you know his character could was you know the master of controlling time, so he could like walk through time, like he could pause me and then continue what he was doing. So it was really fun to film because there were certain parts where I just had to stand there and be like, It was a lot of fun. It's really, really cute. It's really cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you have anything lined up, or are you just kind of waiting it out? Or, I mean, is there not much really going on right now?
Yeah. I mean, nothing's happening right now. The only thing that's kind of I'm waiting for is to continue with my girls group, Enjoy the Journey. That's the only thing where it's like that is still happening. You know, they're still writing. Their producer, he's still, you know, writing stuff for us and producing tracks and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you guys have planned an album coming out? Do you have anything like singles getting ready to drop? Do you have anything planned for that right now?
Not quite. You know, we want to get our following up at the moment. And we were growing pretty fast. But since everything, we were growing fast, and then everything, we didn't have any videos of us singing anymore. Like we'd used them all. So we don't really have, you know, much right now. So we have all this music prepared, and, you know, all these songs that we want to make, you know, drop, but we can't because, you know, everything that's happening.
Yeah. Absolutely. It sucks. I mean, yeah. I mean, because even when, you know, because I know that, you know, some studios like Paramount still work, you know, up and going, and they're still making movies and stuff like that, but they've got like really, really, really limited crew. Everyone's wearing masks except for the actors while they're acting. And then the moment the acting's done, they put the mask right back on. You know, they're doing they're doing separate scenes and then cutting things in, you know. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to talk to nobody, and then you're going to come in, you're going to talk over here, and we're just going to kind of splice them together. So they're doing really weird stuff with, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
I was on another interview, and I was with the whole cast, and they said that someone said that they are doing CGI kisses. They're making the actors not kiss right now. They're doing CGI, which is so weird.
I haven't heard that, but that's funny. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the business of entertainment is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really is. And, you know, like you said, it happened for you all really fast.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. All right. So we've talked about the mental health stuff. We talked about your Broadway. We've talked about the movie. We've talked about your love for, you know, for your dad on the movie, you know, Rodney. So with that, with specific to that, talk about why you were so involved in the LGBTQ community.
I have a lot of friends. I have my older brother. He is, you know, gay, and I have a lot of friends that are in the community. So, and, you know, who knows for me? I'm only 15. I don't have to know. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are. You don't have to know. You can experience certain things at whatever age you want. So, you know.
Exactly.
So who knows if I'll ever be part of it. So it's such a taboo thing to be part of the community, you know, with religion and, you know, just people saying, oh, it's bad. You know, I want to be there for others to be like, no, it's not. And I hear your voice. I hear your voice. I hear the struggles you have to go through. And, you know, I'm all for you, because who cares who you love? You know what I mean? Like, love who you want to love. It has nothing to do with me. It all has to do with you, not me or anyone else. It's for you. So I'm here just to listen and understand as much as I can for all of those people. And, you know, as I said, it is taboo, and I just want them to feel comfortable with me to share. And I have had people feel comfortable enough with me to come out to me, like, before their family, and be like, hey, I wanted to come to you and tell you this because I know you understand.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I am, you know, definitely involved with that community very heavily. To be totally honest with you, on my daughter's 18th birthday back in December, me, my wife, and her all went and got gay pride tattoos. So I bought her her first we bought her her first tattoo for her birthday, and I can proudly say that I am one of the only straight men in the entire world with a gay pride tattoo that says "love" in the rainbow on my arm.
Yes, I love that.
It's so I take pride in that. Get it?
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's still a huge deal in this country. You know, there's still so many, you know, whether it's the Black Lives Matter stuff, whether it's, you know, the LGBTQ stuff, whether it's Me Too, which is coming back around again, or now it's called Stand Up or Speak Out, whatever it's called now. You know, there's still so much persecution and, you know, finger pointing and all this other stuff. And I think you said it best. And for a 15-year-old to recognize that, I commend you. And I do think a lot of it is religion based. I wholeheartedly agree with you. There has been more war, more bloodshed, and more people have died in this world since the beginning of time because of that word.
Yes.
Yep. So I wholeheartedly agree with you. Yeah, that book is dangerous in the wrong hands.
I was watching, it's called Looking for Alaska. Oh, it's such a good book. It touches on religion and has a really good question in it. And it's called, it's a quote from, I forget his name, but he was like some army general. And his last words were, how will I ever get out of this labyrinth of suffering? And it was like, you know, religion based. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was, I guess it was a religion based book. They talked a lot about religion, but I watched the movie version, and someone said one of their questions was, how can something like religion that is so, you know, sacred and beautiful cause so much war?
Well, I can answer that question. I can actually answer that question for you.
Mhm.
You want to know the answer?
Yeah.
Religion is man-made.
Mm-hmm.
Religion's not an act of God. If you open up both books, the Old Testament or the New Testament,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's, the only religion that's quote unquote is mentioned in there is Judaism. And at that time, being a Jew you were from Judea. You were a Jewish person from Judea. That wasn't even a religion at the time. It was just, that's what it was. And then after, Christ died and all this other stuff, Christianity was born out of his name because people said, let's do this. And then one person said, oh, well, I don't like this. I'm going to go create Protestants. Oh, I don't like this. Now I'm going to go create baptism. I'm going to be Baptists. And I don't like this. Now I'm going to go create, this or, being a Methodist, all this stuff. It's all man-made. Yeah. And that's why it's because man is imperfect and we think we're right no matter how wrong we are. And we will fight to the death, even though we know we're wrong.
Yes. I agree.
So that's my opinion on that. So I'm not a religious guy. However, I'm a spiritual guy. I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus. What he was or what he is a question to me, but I know he existed. So all this kind of stuff. But as far as the actual word religion, I have no affiliation, and I want no affiliation. So I think you're on the right track, young lady.
Yeah.
But as long as you live your life the right way, God's just going to sit there and do the right thing by you. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing the right things.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I try.
I look forward to seeing the movie on Tuesday. Me and my wife are ready to buy it. We're not going to rent it. We're going to buy it just because you deserve that cash flow. We're going to watch it, and I'll even send you a DM on it on Tuesday, let you know how good you were in it. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I really, really, really look forward to seeing, where you go from here. I hope you kick the entertainment world in the nuts and show who Gianna Harris is. That is the honest to God truth. Please do so. And then when you become big and famous, don't forget about me, and you come on this show back again and say, Derek, I did it. And I'm like, I told you did it.
Yes. Amazing. Yes.
Because I'm not going anywhere. I'll be around for years and years and years and years and years. So I'll still be here doing the exact same thing. I might be on a different platform, but I'll still be here doing the exact same thing. But Gianna, GiGi, you were an awesome, little girl. You're going to be an amazing woman when you turn 18. So my hat's off to you. You're mature. You're intelligent. You've got a hell of a set of pipes on you. And you're going places, and I want my 9,000 viewers and listeners right now to say, holy crap, I want to go listen to this movie or watch this movie on Tuesday. So please go get The Mighty Oak on Tuesday out on digital, so you can get it on Amazon, you can get it on Apple TV, you can get it anywhere you get your digital movies. Get it, watch it, rate it, and give it a good thumbs up on Rotten Tomatoes. Actually, right now at Rotten Tomatoes, you got an 80% audience score, so that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
The critics don't listen to when you go on the Rotten Tomatoes, never look at the critic score. Look at what the people are saying. The critics don't matter. It's the people. But no, I was reading some of the comments on there today. I don't know if you've gone, but I'm gonna read this to you real quick. You got to listen to this.
Okay.
Because they don't mention anybody specific, but it's inspiring. So I want to actually, I'm sorry, your audience rating score just jumped up to a 94%.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So Mighty Oak right now has a 94% on audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So here's some of the reviews. Every single actor steps up to the plate, which is impressive in an ensemble cast like this. A heartfelt drama that is an absolute must-see. Mighty Oak will tug at your heart and remind you what it is like to be a young and full of dreams, while offering hope to those who have lost their way. Though not perfect, Mighty Oak gives a glimpse into grief outside and hopefully helps us feel empathy and kindness for those who whose stories we do not know. You know, these reviews are sick. Mighty Oak is a light and entertaining film that is mature enough for older kids and will not bore adults who are used to family content. A warm and welcoming, scruffy underdog kind of movie, despite a few issues, will likely leave a smile on your face and a song in your heart. Yeah, I mean, and then they compliment Tommy in this one. Tommy Reagan's soulfulness and enthusiasm brings the audience to joyful tears. So, I mean, you guys are getting some rave reviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
94% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's
yeah.
That's up to you guys. One last question, and then I'm gonna leave you be. What was it like working with Raven Simone?
Oh my gosh. My parents grew up watching her. I grew up watching her. So it was like, even though I didn't work directly with her, I got to meet her, and she's so sweet. You know, she's very, very professional, but she does, you know, have a quick little conversation, you know, take a picture. She's really, really nice, and she's funny in person. So, you know, it was crazy meeting. I was so nervous to like walk over and be like, "Hi, can I have a picture?" Raven Simone, like,
Yeah.
I was a little nervous.
Of course. I mean, in your first few years in the business, you're gonna get starstruck still. But you can't let that, you know, kill your vibe and kill your juju, because you want them to be starstruck by you as well.
Yeah.
Like, you are a talent, and one day you're gonna hear that a lot. You're very, very welcome. GiGi, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
You too.
Or try to enjoy the rest of your summer. Don't get sick. Wear the mask. And I look forward to seeing where you go, because I'm going to be looking for you.
Yes. We should do another interview sometime. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got your contact information, so we'll definitely keep in touch.
Yeah.
All right, GiGi, you have a wonderful rest of your night, and tell your parents I said hi.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Wow. It is so in the last 6 days, I've interviewed 2 teenage girls. Friday was a little bit of a different scenario with Ashley Brenton, you know, her being a female rapper. She's 19 and stuff like that. But again, the music that Ashley puts out is not who Ashley is, you know, and I proved that fact last Friday. And then going into this interview with her, I didn't know what to expect. But that girl is not 15 years old. She's more mature than I am. So definitely check out that flick. I'm stoked, even though it's a teenage film with the, you know, that heartfelt stuff. I'm still sick, and I'm ready to see it because it looks just amazing. So with that said, now let's come and see my pre-recorded voice on a pre-recorded video message telling you to buy shit. Guys, I'm here to tell you all about the brand new revolutionary product from Manscaping today, the Lawnmower 3.0, a product that will not nick your sack and make sure that your manhood stays protected the entire time you are shaving. So do yourself a favor and go to manscaped.com and use promo code ShutUpCameron for 20% off the Perfect Package 3.0, which not only includes the Lawnmower 3.0, but it also includes Ball Toner, which helps prevent ingrown hairs. You get Ball Deodorant, which helps prevent chafing and man stank. You also get this awesome, sleek, stylish leather carrying case, all for $99.99. And when you use that promo code, you get 20% off. Also just released the Weed Whacker, the perfect nose and ear hair trimmer. So again, go to manscaped.com, use promo code ShutUpCameron for 20% off. Trust me, your balls will thank you. Guys, ever wonder how I get this manly beard looking so good? It's all because of Viking Revolution. And at Viking Revolution, not only can you get some great beard balms, but you can also get some great beard oils, as well as some awesome quick shower pads, which helps prevent you stanking up after the gym. Also, these great wet wipes, which help prevent, stanky after going doo-doo. And also some pomades and some other great products, all at Viking Revolution. So do yourself a favor, go to dcproductions.com/sponsors, click on the banner, and get yourself some of these great products. Viking Revolution. Join the revolution. So, again, tomorrow, live on Twitch, 8 p.m., the Lawnmower 3.0 Purpose Package 3.0 giveaway, and the Twitch stream only. Again, Twitch stream only. Sign up for Twitch. Again, you will love all the great content on Twitch. It's not just for gamers anymore. There's tons of people out here like me. There is a guy named Relic who does another talk show like this, who wears a clown mask and interviews guys. And it's freaking hilarious. There's so much cool shit on Twitch. And I'm trying to, help bridge that gap from podcast to Twitch. Because again, I'm getting 7,000 listeners, but now I only have, 4 likes or 4 views right now on the stream, which is fine. I don't care. I stream for one person. I'll stream for nobody because I love what I do. And I know eventually that this is going to get to the exact same point that the podcast is at, because that's how damn good I am. Because I know how funny I am. And that's why I picked an 8 o'clock time slot, because, it is what it is. Because I want you to be able to sit down after dinner and say, oh, let's watch Derek on TV because he's freaking hilarious. All right. So with that being said, I had a monologue in mind. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, I remember boobs. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So yesterday, or was it today? Either way, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, and I plug them all the time on here. It's the Scrubs Rewind Show with Zach and Donald. It's the Scrubs Show. It's a great podcast. It's called Real Friends, Fake Doctors, Real Friends. It's available everywhere podcasts are on. It's basically, again, it's a Scrubs Rewind show. They watch an episode and they talk about it, so on and so forth. And then Tuesday, they actually released a special episode. They didn't actually talk about an episode. What they did was they came on, they talked about some of their past, and especially when it comes to racial things. So if anyone has ever watched this show or is a big fan like I am, if you go back to Hulu right now, there's 3 episodes that have been taken off. And that was at the will of Bill Lawrence, the creator. Those 3 episodes had to do with blackface. So there's 3 episodes in that series that have blackface on it. Now, they did it, if you've never seen the show, they did it with the utmost intentions. They did it for true comedy's sake. So the first instance of it takes place when JD and Turk are in college, and the character of Turk is the black guy, played by Donald Faison, and he thought it would be funny to go to a frat party dressed as each other. So he dressed up like JD, being white, and JD dressed up like him being black, and they thought it was funny. And Turk runs off right before the door opens, and they open the door, and black fraternity sees this guy, and they beat the shit out of him and whatever. But so that was instance number 1. Instance number 2 was while JD was dating Elliot, or Dr. Reed, played by Sarah Chalk, second Becky from Roseanne. He said, while he was dating her, the only way that this could be any better if she was a cross between her and Turk. So JD had a fantasy where she was Turk. So she looked like herself, but she was the black bald version of herself. And that was the second instance. And then the other instance was JD feeling like he was a little bit, he was so proud of his best friend, and so, he idolized his best friend so much, he thought what it would be like to be his best friend for the day, and he did blackface as Turk. So they were all based around the character of Turk, and they weren't making fun of anybody. They weren't doing anything with ill intent. It was just strictly for the laugh. Donald approved it, thought it was really cool, thought it was funny. The whole cast enjoyed it, whatever. However, now looking back on it, the creator, Bill Lawrence, has said, hey, that was too far. Yeah, it was funny, but regardless of the humor or the intent, it's still offensive as hell. And so they took it off. So those 3 episodes have been removed from Hulu. So if you're, binge watching a season of Scrubs and you notice that there's an episode missing, it's one of those 3 episodes. And I commend Bill Lawrence and Donald and Zach Braff for doing such. Listening to the episode on Tuesday, go back and listen to it. I think it's called Our History with Blackface or whatever, something along those lines. Like I said, it was this past Tuesday's episode, so June 30th. Go back and listen to it. Even if you're not a Scrubs fan, it is a great history of why, blackface is so bad. And I learned something, about this. And, me being 39, I didn't really know what it meant. Now I knew blackface was bad, but I didn't know why. And I always heard Jim Crow, Jim Crow, Jim Crow. I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was, whatever the case might be. I thought it was a black guy that fought against it. But it turns out that Jim Crow is actually a white dude dressing up in blackface, making fun of black people, trying to educate white Americans on how idiotic, air quotes, black people were. And that blew my mind. Because as Donald so pointed out, and now I can't watch this movie the same way anymore, Dumbo. The Black Crows that were in Dumbo, they were acting a certain way on purpose. Disney was trying to portray those Black Crows as sleek, black guys, and they just happened to be crows, Jim Crow, and it's mind-blowing. It's, so regardless of whether or not you turn on a TV and, there's been a lot of, and I don't want to hear any, for those of you that have said, oh shit, well, on Scrubs, they did, Turk dress up as a white guy when he was, Cal Turk, insert salesman. No, that doesn't count. Because black people have never persecuted the white people. They never enslaved us. Or if they did, it wasn't for millions and millions, or actually millions, for hundreds of years, and whatever the case might be. But regardless, the history there is crazy. So my favorite show of all time, which is Scrubs, just made my case for them being that much more awesome. They are, yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic show. And then to acknowledge the mistakes of the past, even though at the time they thought it was the right thing to do, they realized that it wasn't. And that's really fucking badass. So yeah, my hat's off to them. Yeah, if you haven't, researched much about it, go research Jim Crow in detail. That guy was a douche. What was that line? From some TV show, he puts the douche in fiduciary. I can't remember where that came from, but was that not another teen movie? I don't remember. No, I don't think that was it. Someone fact check me on that one. Oh wait, she's gonna do it. She's gonna fact check. But no. Either way, so go research some of that. It's quite interesting, especially with today's day and time. We've got to be more aware of that kind of stuff. Now, again, whether it's Chappelle making fun of white people, or whatever the case might be, it's funny because it's a stereotype that we've built. And you know what? If you're a comic and you're good at what you do, you can still go up on stage and make racial, stereotype jokes, not racist jokes, racial type jokes, and get away with it as long as it's funny and as long as it's proving a point. What was the joke? Oh, it was a How I Met Your Mother joke. You put the douche in fiduciary. Oh, GMB puts the douche in fiduciary. Okay, that's what it was. But anyway, so and that's one of the things that we need to remember is, racial profiling, racial stereotypes are bad. And, saying that all, black people are criminals, or saying that all white people are rich, stuck up, arrogant, assholes that, live on white privilege, or, whatever they say about, every race. It's not right, and it's bad. Okay. But at the same time, there's a way to do it right and there's a way to do it wrong, and blackface is the way to do it wrong. What's his name? Kramer from Seinfeld did a few years back. That was wrong. But what Neil Brennan does is the right way to do it. So, what Chappelle does is the right way to do it. What Chris Rock does is the right way to do it. There's plenty of comedic ways to do racial jokes the right way, because there's a difference between racism and stereotyping. And, it's a very, 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 very sensitive subject. And I'm only talking about this now because of what they did on Scrubs. Now, there's still a lot of things out there that have that kind of stuff in there, like Trading Places. Dan Aykroyd goes onto a train dressed up like a Rastafarian with blackface on. And I don't know if they'll ever take that off the air, or they'll edit that part out. I don't know if they'll remove the DVDs from the shows. I don't know. Or take it off Amazon, or whatever the case might be. But either way, it's not right. And I commend Bill Lawrence and the cast of Scrubs for doing such. It's a very, very admirable trait to do so. So, mental health message of the day. Yeah, we talked about Star Wars last night, so I had to do that. I had one pulled up and now it's gone. I need to research it again. Like my singing voice. All right. Clouds come floating into my life, no longer to carry rain or usher storm, but to add color to my sunset sky. My wife pulled up one too. Says, if you're tired, learn to rest, not quit. So you get two for the price of one today. If you're tired, lay down and rest, not quit. I like that. And then mine is clouds come floating into my life, no longer to carry rain or usher storm, but to add color to my sunset sky. My wife's looking at me like that was a retarded one. No, it was not. That was a good one.
I never said retarded.
No, you were making the jack off symbol. Like,
it sounded fiduciary.
It sounded fiduciary. Hey, I do a mental health quote every fucking night. Occasionally, they're going to sound a little douchey. But you know what? It lifts people's fucking, spirits. People, I'm here to lift your spirits. And sometimes my mental health quote of the day is a little douchey and a little bit, way too spiritual. Or a little bit way too, on the nose. But you know what? it makes me happy. And if it makes you happy, then it makes me happy. So everybody across the country and the 10 different countries that we're listened to in, I need everybody simultaneously on the count of 3, because I want her to be able to hear it. All 9,000 of you people. It's going to be so loud that you can hear it from the fucking mountaintops. I want you to scream it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Suck it. Yeah. Fucking right. See, that's another reason why I invented this show, so I can tell my wife to suck it and not get in trouble.
Yeah, right.
Oh, by the way, for those of you who listened last night to the John Doe interview, and we were talking about getting back on the horse as far as getting married goes, and I told him, I'm going to start calling my wife old horse lady. That was not a good idea. So don't do that. Guys, tomorrow night, from the original cast of Rent, from the new movie Mighty Oak that we just talked to Gianna Harris, the guy who plays her father in the movie, a Broadway legend, Rodney Hicks, will be on the show tomorrow night. I am stoked beyond all realms of thought to talk to him tomorrow night. So please come and check that out. Broadway legend, Rodney Hicks, live, same Twitch time, same Twitch channel, right here on DCK Productions Suck It Podcast. With that, again, the Lawnmower 3.0 Perfect Package 3.0 right here. Who will win it? I don't know. Might be you. It might be you. It might be you. It might be you. I don't know. Whoever I'm pointing at. But anyway, if you want it to be you, you must be a follower. You must comment in the Twitch chat. Twitch only. As of tomorrow will be our last Facebook, stream. We're exclusive to Twitch only come Monday, and all of our podcast platforms. So podcast listeners, if you want to start watching us live, 8 o'clock on Twitch at DCK Productions, come give us a watch. We're a great way to end your day. If you don't want to wait until Jimmy Fallon at 11:30 or, Jimmy Kimmel at 11:30 or whatever the case might be, or, if you want a good talk show during the during the nice premiere hours, which is 8 o'clock, then come check out the great and powerful Prince of all that is awesome, the King of Kings, Derek, live on Suck It Podcast, 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 9:30, 10 o'clock, depending on the guest and whatever else. But either way, from myself, from the mysterious Nicole, who's off getting drunk in Las Vegas right now, let's pray for her safe arrival back home into LA, and so she can come back and see us on Monday. But until tomorrow, with the great legendary Broadway, actor, singer, playwright, Rodney Hicks will be on the show again, original cast member of Rent. The significance of that is beyond anything. Live on the show tomorrow night, we'll talk about Rent, we'll talk about Mighty Oak, we'll talk about his LGBTQ stuff, and so much more. It'll be a fantastic interview and the Perfect Package 3.0 giveaway. So guys, from myself, from Nicole off in Las Vegas doing whatever she's doing, and from my fact checker this evening, my lovely wife, Christina, we bid you guys adieu. See you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock West, same Twitch time, same Twitch channel. Peace.